I'm Jennifer Walsh, 29 years old. 3 weeks ago, I lost a baby I desperately wanted while my parents chose my brother's golf game over their grandchildren. The bleeding started at 2 a.m. Not the light spotting my doctor had warned me might happen. Heavy, terrifying bleeding that soaked through everything in minutes. I was 12 weeks pregnant, just past the point where I'd started to believe this baby might actually make it. My husband Derek was in Boston for a critical client presentation. He'd left the night before, kissing my still flat stomach and promising to be home by Friday. It was only Tuesday. I called my OB's emergency line with shaking hands, trying to keep my voice steady so I wouldn't wake my 18-month-old twins, Mason and Madison, sleeping in their cribs down the hall. "Jennifer, you need to get to the hospital immediately," Dr. Chin said. Her voice was calm but urgent. "This level of bleeding at 12 weeks requires immediate intervention. Can someone drive you? My husband's out of town. I'll call my parents. Make it fast. And if the bleeding increases at all, call 911. Don't wait." I hung up and dialed my mother. It rang 6 times before she answered, her voice thick with sleep. "Jennifer? It's 2 a.m. What's wrong?" "Mom, I'm bleeding. Badly. I'm pregnant. Was pregnant, and I need to get to the hospital. Can you come watch the twins?" There was a pause. A long pause where I could hear my father asking what was going on. "Bleeding? Are you sure it's serious? You know how you tend to catastrophize medical things." My hand was literally covered in blood. "Mom, I'm losing the baby. I need emergency surgery. Please, I need you to come stay with Mason and Madison. They're asleep. You just need to be here when they wake up. Jennifer, your father and I are in Palm Springs. We're at your brother's golf tournament. Tyler's competing for a $50,000 prize. We can't just leave." I felt the room tilt. "You're 3 hours away? We've been planning this trip for months. Tyler qualified for this tournament. It's a huge deal for him. Mom, I'm having a miscarriage. I need emergency surgery." "Are you absolutely sure? Sometimes pregnancy bleeding is normal. Remember when you thought you had appendicitis and it was just gas?" I looked down at my blood-soaked pajamas. At the puddle forming on the bathroom floor. "This is not gas, Mom." My father's voice came on the line. "Honey, we paid $2,000 for this tournament weekend. The hotel, the tickets, everything. Can't you call Derek's parents?" "Derek's parents are in Florida. It would take them 8 hours to fly here." "Well, surely you have friends. Or hire a babysitter. This is exactly why people have backup plans." "I didn't plan to have a miscarriage at 2 a.m. "You're always so dramatic about everything," Mom said, taking the phone back. "I'm sure it's not as bad as you think. Just lie down with your feet elevated. If it's still bad in the morning, go to urgent care." The bleeding was getting heavier. I could feel it. "I can't wait until morning. I could bleed out." "Jennifer, don't be ridiculous. You're not going to bleed out from a miscarriage. Women have them all the time." She sighed deeply. "Fine. We'll try to leave early tomorrow. But your father already paid for tomorrow's tournament breakfast, and Tyler's tea time is at 8 a.m. We can probably leave by noon." "Noon? Mom, it's Tuesday morning. I need help now. And we're 3 hours away at your brother's important event. You need to be more understanding. The world doesn't revolve around you." Something inside me cracked. Not my heart, that would come later. Something sharper. Clearer. "You're right," I said quietly. "It doesn't revolve around me. It never has." I hung up. The bleeding intensified. I called 911. The paramedics arrived in 8 minutes. 2 women, both probably in their 30s, calm and efficient. "How far along?" the first one asked as she helped me onto the gurney. 12 weeks. Heavy bleeding for about 20 minutes now. "Any cramping?" "Yes. Getting worse." "We're going to get you to County General. They have an excellent OB emergency team." She looked around my bedroom. "Is anyone here with you?" "My twins. 18 months old. They're asleep in the nursery." "Is someone coming to watch them?" I felt the tears start. "No. My husband's in Boston. My parents are in Palm Springs and won't leave my brother's golf tournament." The second paramedic's face hardened. "They won't leave a golf tournament for their daughter's medical emergency?" "Apparently not. Do you have anyone else we can call?" I thought frantically. My best friend Emma was in Japan for work. Derek's brother lived in Seattle. My neighbor Mrs. Patterson was 78 and couldn't handle twin toddlers. Then I remembered the card Derek's mom had given me 6 months ago. Emergency childcare solutions when crisis strikes, we're there. There's a service, I said. Emergency childcare. I have the number in my phone. The first paramedic helped me dial while the second one started in 4. A woman answered on the second ring. Emergency childcare solutions, this is Patricia. I need help. My voice broke. I'm being transported to the hospital. Miscarriage. I have 18-month-old twins sleeping in their cribs. I need someone here before they wake up. Someone who knows what they're doing. Where are you located? I gave her my address. We can have 2 specialists there in 25 minutes. Twins require 2 caregivers for optimal safety. Our emergency rate is $60 per hour per caregiver with a 6-hour minimum. Fine. Whatever. Please just get here. Jennifer, I need you to breathe. We're sending Rosa and Michelle. They're both pediatric nurses with twin experience. They'll take care of your babies like they're their own. You focus on yourself right now. Thank you, I whispered. Thank you so much. As they loaded me into the ambulance, I did something I'd been doing every month for 6 years. Something I'd kept secret because I thought it made me a good daughter. I opened my banking app with trembling, blood-stained fingers. There it was. The automatic transfer I'd set up when I was 23 years old and got my first real job out of college. $3,200. Transferred on the 15th of every month to my parents' account. It started when Dad's business had a temporary setback. When Mom mentioned they might lose the house. When my brother was still in college and needed help with tuition. Just for a few months, Dad had said. Just until things stabilize. 6 years later, Dad's business had stabilized enough for golf tournaments and Palm Springs weekends. Mom had stabilized enough for spa days and shopping trips. Tyler had graduated and gotten a 6-figure job but somehow never helped with their bills. And I kept sending money because no one ever told me to stop. Because I thought that's what good daughters did. $3,200 a month. 12 months a year. 6 years. $230,400. Nearly $250,000 to parents who couldn't drive 3 hours to help me during a miscarriage. I canceled the automatic transfer. Then I set up a new one. Same amount, $3,200 per month, to a college fund for Mason and Madison. The paramedic squeezed my hand. You're doing great. Stay with us. But I wasn't thinking about the blood or the pain or the baby I was losing. I was thinking about how my parents had chosen golf over their grandchildren. How they'd called me dramatic while I bled out. How I'd paid for that golf tournament with money they never earned. If you're genuinely enjoying this story, could you take a moment to hit that like button? It really helps me continue creating these stories. The ER was chaos and urgency. Dr. Chin met me there already in scrubs. Jennifer, we need to do an emergency D&C. You're hemorrhaging. We need to stop the bleeding before you go into shock. The baby. Her face was gentle. I'm so sorry. There's no heartbeat. Your body is trying to miscarry but tissue is retained. That's causing the hemorrhage. I'd known. Deep down I'd known when the bleeding started. But hearing it made it real. Okay, I whispered. Do what you need to do. We'll put you under general anesthesia. The procedure takes about 20 minutes. You'll wake up in recovery. Bye twins. I need to call. We'll make sure you have a phone as soon as you're awake. But right now we need to move fast. As they wheeled me toward the OR, my phone rang. Dirk. Babe, I got your voicemail. Oh my God. I'm at the airport. I'll be there in 4 hours. The twins. I called my mom. She's already on a plane. She'll land in 6 hours. She's got Rosa and Michelle's contact info. She'll coordinate everything. Your mom is flying here from Florida? Of course she is. Your family. That's what family does. His voice cracked. I'm so sorry I'm not there. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. Did your parents? They're at Tyler's golf tournament. They can't leave. Silence. Then Derek's voice, cold and hard in a way I'd never heard before. They chose golf over you? Apparently. Jennifer, I swear to God. Derek, I canceled the money. The $3,200 a month. It's gone. I redirected it to the twins' college fund. Another pause. You've been sending them $3,200 a month? For 6 years. That's. I could hear him doing the math. That's over $230,000. I know. And they won't leave a golf tournament to help you? I know. The anesthesiologist was preparing the medications. We need to start, she said gently. I have to go, I told Derek. I love you. I love you too. I'll be there as soon as I can. And Jennifer? Your parents are done. You hear me? They're done. The world went fuzzy as the anesthesia took hold. I woke up in recovery to the sound of voices. 2 women arguing in the hallway. Absolutely unacceptable. Your daughter is in the hospital after emergency surgery and you're worried about money? My mother's voice. That's not fair, Patricia. You don't understand the situation. I understand perfectly. Jennifer called you at 2 a.m. hemorrhaging from a miscarriage and you chose a golf tournament. We were 3 hours away. What were we supposed to do? Drive. Immediately. Like I did from Florida. Like any decent parent would do. I tried to sit up. A nurse was there instantly. Easy. You're still woozy from anesthesia. Who's out there? Your mother-in-law arrived about an hour ago. She's been addressing some concerns. Patricia Walsh, Derek's mother, was a force of nature. She'd been a labor and delivery nurse for 30 years before retiring. She didn't tolerate nonsense. And apparently she didn't tolerate my mother. You don't get to judge us, Mom was saying. We've been good parents. We've sacrificed everything for our children. Really? Because from where I'm standing, your daughter has been sacrificing for you. Want to know how I know? Patricia, don't. Jennifer's bank records were pulled for the emergency childcare service. Standard procedure for establishing payment. You know what they found? Monthly transfers of $3,200 to your account. For 6 years. That's $230,400. Silence. Your daughter, the one currently recovering from emergency surgery to save her life, has been funding your lifestyle for 6 years. And when she needed you most, you couldn't interrupt a golf game. That money was, we thought it was. You thought it was what? A gift from the money fairy? You knew exactly where it came from. You just didn't care. My father's voice now. We're here now, aren't we? We drove straight from Palm Springs. You're 12 hours late. Your daughter went through surgery alone. Your grandchildren woke up to strangers because you wouldn't leave a golf course. The childcare service took care of it. A childcare service Jennifer had to hire from an ambulance while bleeding out because their own grandparents couldn't be bothered. The nurse helping me was trying not to smile. Your mother-in-law is something else. She's amazing, I whispered. She's been here since she landed. Wouldn't leave your side. Coordinated with the childcare team. Called your husband every hour with updates. Handled all the insurance paperwork. The nurse adjusted my four. She also banned your parents from your room until you're ready to see them. She can do that? She's listed as your medical advocate while Derek's in transit. She absolutely can do that. I heard footsteps. Patricia appeared in the doorway, her silver hair slightly disheveled, her eyes fierce. You're awake. Her face softened immediately. She came to my bedside and took my hand. How are you feeling, sweetheart? Like I lost a baby. I know. I'm so sorry. She brushed hair from my forehead. The procedure went well. No complications. You'll need to rest for a few days, but physically you'll heal. The twins. Rosa and Michelle are with them at your house. They're fed, changed and playing. I've been video calling every hour. Mason keeps asking for Mama, but they're okay. Derek will be here in 90 minutes. He'll go straight home to relieve the caregivers. You flew here from Florida. Of course I did. You're my daughter-in-law. More than that, your family. She smiled. Plus, I've been looking for an excuse to tell your parents exactly what I think of them for years. Derek wouldn't let me. But after this, all bets are off. I heard some of that. Good. They needed to hear it. She sat in the chair beside my bed. Jennifer, I need to tell you something. When Derek called me, he told me about the money. The $230,400 you've been sending your parents. I looked away. I know it was stupid. It wasn't stupid. It was generous. Too generous. But it showed me who you are. You're someone who gives everything to the people you love. He squeezed my hand. But sweetheart, you've been giving to people who don't deserve it. Who don't value it. who take and never give back. They're my parents. They're users. And I say that as someone who raised a son to value family above everything. But family is supposed to be reciprocal. You give, they give. You show up, they show up. That's not what's happening here. The door opened. Derek burst in, still in his suit from the presentation, his face drawn and pale. Jen. He crossed to me in 3 strides, wrapping his arms around me carefully. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I wasn't here. You're here now. He pulled back, touching my face like he needed to confirm I was real. Mom filled me in. The surgery went well. You're okay. Physically. The baby. I know. His eyes filled with tears. I know. We'll grieve together. But right now I'm just grateful you're alive. Patricia stood. I'll give you two some privacy. Derek, I'm going to your house to relieve Rosa and Michelle. You stay here as long as Jennifer needs. Mom. Derek caught her hand. Thank you. For everything. That's what mothers do, honey. They show up. She looked pointedly at the door where my parents were presumably still waiting. Real mothers, anyway. After she left, Derek sat on the edge of the hospital bed,